Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we still can't do anything, unfortunately. We currently still have the Democratic Party in charge here. I guess the fascists just didn't vote in the last election or something, but we're gonna have to cruise on forward and hope that we have some ability to do things in the near future. So we're going to cruise forward here. We do need a good amount of army experience in order to get ourselves our templates. I have looked up a few templates here, and specifically two. For the moment, I feel like we only need the two templates, and it's going to be an infantry template, and it's going to be a tank template, which will be not this. But we're going to need to get some research done for that as well, and I would like to get an engineer company research done. I believe that's under support companies. Yeah, so we've got Engineer Company 1. Okay, the other one that we're going to need here, we are going to need Support Artillery and Support Anti-Air. We already have access to both of those, so we don't actually need any additional support companies at this moment for the infantry template. We can take a look at our tank template. Well, I mean, I can't actually show it to you because it's currently on my phone. But taking a look at that, we would need motorized infantry, and we would also end up needing... what icon is that? Hang on. That is the logistics company. Okay, so what we're going to need for that, of course, is our motorized infantry finishing up. That's all reasonably fine. So for the time being, all we're going to do is we're going to grab... These are still a year ahead of time. I think what we're going to do is we're going to work a bit on upgrading our armor. We're currently working on our 1938 medium. I want to move towards... It's going to be fairly late that we do this, so we're probably going to be going for a bit of a later game tank template, which would be reasonably fine. We can just move our way down here, but we can grab basic armor protection for now, and we'll get going on that. That seems fine. We know it's going to be like 1941 before our next election. I'm hoping that we're going to have some decisions that we can take before then. That would be ideal. We'll see if that ends up happening. But we kind of can't do anything right now, I'm pretty sure. Let's check in on China. Yeah, we can't justify war goals right now. We need the world tension to be at 100. So what can we do to build up world tension? Well, we could think about doing something about our subjects. We have a number of these. And these, the autonomy is going absolutely nowhere here. So if we go over to these guys, I wish there was a just like reduce autonomy thing that we could do here to spend like political power or something on reducing their autonomy. Unfortunately, we can't. We would need to lend leases, but we need world tension to be at 10%. So there's actually very, very little that we can do here. No doubt about that. One thing I do want to do is I want to get rid of any divisions that are not ones that we're going to be utilizing. So these are all infantry divisions here. I'm going to get rid of the infantry brigade and the cavalry divisions here. I want to purge these out. We're going to disband the selected units there, and we're going to gain about 60,000 manpower for that. That's reasonably fine. And these are all infantry divisions here. So now I want to go into our recruitment here. I would like to get rid of our infantry brigade, cavalry division, and cavalry brigade. Now apparently we have a garrison template of armored divisions. Okay, I need to try to remember where it is that we see that. I believe there is a way to see that. So this is our infantry division recruitment here. These are our garrisons here, but that's our recruit and deploy garrisons. There is definitely a way to do this, and I've forgotten where it is, but I've found it in the past. I know for a fact it exists. It might be in logistics. No, I don't think so. It might just be in the state view, but hang on. Yeah, it would be our garrison template. I know this exists. It definitely exists. So this is our army, this is our navy, this is our air force. We don't have an air force. That's all understood. We don't actually have any support equipment template. Yeah, that's fine. I know for a fact this is in here somewhere. Occupied territories might be what I'm looking for. But armored divisions are currently apparently being used as a garrison template somewhere for some occupied territories. We don't have occupied territories. Are we talking for our vassals? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but at least we only have one remaining brigade there, right? So that's fine. No problem there. This is the armored division here, I guess, not a brigade, but that's fine. So all we want for now is our infantry division, and I'm just going to rename this to armored. I want this to be armored division, but that's already taken. So I guess we need to rename this to garrison division, and I don't actually want this to be a garrison division, for the record. I don't want to keep this around. So we are just going to rename that there, and now I'm going to rename this to the armored division. Armored division. Perfect. So we'll rename that. That'll be fine. And that's fine. So this is currently coming as the medium template, tank template 1. I guess we need to rename it here too. Armored division. Okay. So we can see that we are currently lacking medium tanks here. Yeah, that's not surprising. Out of curiosity, I'm going to check in on the template here. Let's see here. So this is going to be eventually heavy tanks. Okay, noted. That's absolutely fine. We just want to use that for breakthrough, really, more than anything. I believe that's the way that that works anyway. We do have a government modification that we can do here. We could add an industrial concern. I want to put in the electronics company. That'll be fine. And we do have a research slot available here. So what do we want to take for that? Well, for the moment, we're basically just interested in infantry and armor. We could think about getting additional airframes, but I think we're going to upgrade our basic engine for now. So let's get that going. I don't want to actually do this. I want to choose the tank manufacturer then. There's our armament effort 3 finishing up. That sounds good. At this point, I want to grab political effort. So we'll get going on that. Fantastic. Let's check in on our construction here. Oh, we just finished our towed artillery here. Sure. I'd be interested in potentially going to the M1940. It's less than a year ahead of time. Let's do it. Excellent. So that'll be fine. So I want to check in on our construction. We're at 133 factories in use. That is definitely an upgrade, and we're getting these supply hubs finished up. That'll take some time. Eventually, we're going to want to max out our railways. Eventually. But that's going to be slightly tedious, I think. We're going to have to do it, like, from here. Indeed. So, for the moment, I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Computing machine has finished. And, of course, we would love to get the improved computing machine. We're going to have to wait 2 years for that in terms of ahead of time. And it would take us almost 2 years to research. I think for the moment, we might want to grab radio detection. I'm not going to build radar stations just yet, but having the research will be useful. So that seems good. We're going to need a lot more army experience. No doubt about that. Improved Infantry Equipment 1 has finished up, and that is good. I want to grab this here. I would also be interested in, let's see here. Do the engineer companies require the support equipment? I believe so. Okay. So we're going to grab this for now. That'll be fine. Excellent. So things are definitely proceeding here. Basic armor protection has finished. And from here, we could go to improved armor protection, and we're going to do that. I'm not going to make any new types of tanks until either we're actually going to get into war or until we have max level tanks. One or the other. I'm not going to spend any additional army experience on that. Our army experience is currently fairly minimal, and we definitely need to do some work here. So what we want to do is we want to put in an engineer company here for now, and that's all I'm going to do for the moment. So we're going to put in an engineer company. That's all we have command power for. We're going to want a couple more support companies, and ultimately I'm going to want to remove our artillery companies from our infantry division, but this'll be mostly the way we want this to go. We're going to use those pretty much on the defense, and we're going to have like separate infantry and armor armies, I guess we could say. So that'll be the plan there. We need all the medium tanks we can get right now, but I'm not too concerned about production speed here. This is going to move up quite a bit. Political effort finishes up. We're going collectivist ethos. but we are not a ruling party fascist, so we can't go this way yet, and I don't want to go liberty ethos. So we may want to go for army effort here and start making our way down this direction. So we'll do that for now. That seems reasonably fine. And we'll just continue to cruise on forward here, since there's not really anything we can do, since we are currently Democratic. Hopefully, in the next election, with the Democrats only having 11%, we'll be able to not be Democratic. That would be nice. So we'll select a new technology to research here. This will be the improved engine. We'll get that underway. Excellent. So we're looking fairly good on that. The basic medium tank chassis has finished up. I do want to continue to... I think we want to get the 1934 heavy. I want to move into the heavy tank chassis into eventually modern tanks, but for now, we're going to grab the heavy tank chassis. I'm not going to go into super heavy tanks for the moment, but let's just go the heavy tank route. We're going to stick with medium tanks for now until we get significantly further in the tech tree there. So that seems reasonably good. We are gaining some amount of army experience per day. We need a fair amount more. We need, I think, 15 plus another 20, so 35 army experience to get our infantry into being a decent shape. So I think in terms of army groups, how many armies go into an army group in general? I believe it is 5. We do need a marshal here, and we would need to recruit a new guy here. So we can show a field commander. We can promote up this guy. Yeah, this will cost us command, and that's absolutely okay. I'm going to promote him up. And he's now a field marshal. There we go. I'm sure these guys won't have a problem with that. So now I want to assign this guy. And we can do that presumably like that. Yes. Okay. So 2 out of 5. That is what I thought. So I want to have offensive doctrine here, most likely. That seems good. And we have an unassigned infantry division here. Okay. I'm going to put that right in here. Looks good. So I want, I think, our infantry to armor ratio to be at a ratio of maybe 3-2 or 4-1. But I'm thinking 3-2. So our improved armor protection has finished up. And we'll see how that works. I don't know how to play this game, right? I'm not good at this game. But we'll see how that ends up working. I guess we can grab some artillery upgrades here, like the anti-tank upgrade. That does give us support that's specifically anti-tank, right? I don't know these icons as well as I should, but I'm pretty sure that is specifically the support anti-tank company. Let's go into our division editor here and check real quick. Yeah, this is support artillery, this is support anti-tank. So that is what I thought it was. Okay, so this is only upgrading anti-tank, this is only upgrading anti-air. Sure, that seems fine. Let's grab the anti-air upgrade. We are going to have support anti-air. I don't believe we're going to have support anti-tank. So that seems fine for the moment. We are sitting at 8 army experience right now. We need to go a little bit further on that, of course. And we're currently at 13. We finished up our motorization effort. And that bypassed one of those? Okay, sure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in, at this point, another support company for our infantry division here. And that is, of course, going to be... We need support artillery and support anti-air. So we can go with either one. For the moment, I think support artillery is probably the more useful one. And we'll save that. So we're going to need support anti-air here. And then we're going to need to get rid of these artillery. So that's all fine for the moment. Oh, hello. We were auto-saving. Motorization effort has finished. We can grab equipment effort here. And we could also grab mechanization effort. That's for the truck. Okay, we're going to grab equipment effort. That seems fine. Cool. The dawn of Australian Syndicate. Okay. Sure. I mean, we do actually care about that. Keep in mind, New South Wales is one of our puppets. So that's fine. We did just finish up a weapons upgrade here, so that seems good. I'm not going to start any of these. They are ahead of time, and we're going to get a bonus for going after them very soon. So I think for the moment, let's grab Engineer Company 2. That'll be okay. Seems fine for the moment. I also want to check in on how we're doing politically. 66% fascist. Okay, so we're definitely going to need to go that route. Radio detection has finished up. That seems fine. And we can grab something along the lines of decimetric radar to boost up our radar station and our coordination. Alternatively, we could come over here and start thinking about getting these done. This is only half a year ahead of time. You know what? Let's grab construction 3. Looks good. Improved engine also finished up. And looking in here, this is quite ahead of time down this way. I want to continue to work on our industry now that we've gotten this a little bit more available. So we'll grab advanced machine tools here. That all looks fine. So we're making solid progress here. We do have some decisions available. Uruguay has capitulated to Brazil. Interesting. Well, there's not going to be enough world tension here. We're not going to be able to do anything on that front. We may want to start doing region-wide industrial integration. However, we can still work on our government. So research and production here. We could grab, say, land doctrine. That was not the one I wanted. That was air doctrine. Okay, whatever. I guess that's fine. Sure. We can put in an army offense specialist here. That seems good. We can also put in, for our chief of navy, this just gives us free naval experience, which seems pretty decent. For Chief of Air Force, we don't have the political power to get a Chief of Air Force, so that's okay for now. We can continue to tick on forward. And checking in on how we're doing on all the civilian industry construction, there's a ways to go yet. No doubt about that. There's that artillery finished, so we now have outdated equipment in production, and we're going to start immediately producing the improved artillery. That is, of course, going to be fairly slow as we get switched over, but that is fine. So at this point, we probably do want to grab Concentrated Industry 3. So we'll get going on that. Nice and quick on that front. So that seems good. Okay. It's currently August of 1938. Our next election is going to be in August of 1941. So we have about 3 years to go until the next election. That's good. We don't want to be democratic, if we can at all help it. So we're currently 67% fascist. By the time we get there, it'll be a lot more. Hey, a medium tank template. So I'm going to put this into a new army, and I want to put this army into this army group. We want to get a leader here, so we're going to need to promote a field commander, and that is going to be, these are all infantry divisions currently. We'll put this guy in charge here. There we go. And we actually, I don't know why we have to close it and then redo that. Hi, console. I don't think we had to do that previously. It's just kind of strange. I'm just going to put this on this offensive line here. Did you actually get that? No, you didn't. We're going to offensive line here. There we go. It's a very wide offensive line for one unit to cover, but that is absolutely understood. We're also going to start exercising that unit. So that's our first tank army there. Excellent. That'll be fine. Equipment effort has finished up, and that, of course, means we can choose between equipment effort 2, doctrine effort, or mechanization effort. And let's grab doctrine effort, since that'll give us army experience. That said, we can definitely continue to work on our infantry division here. So this needs to be support anti-air, and we need to start to remove some of this artillery. So we're going to remove this one, and that's all we can do for now. Cool. So we'll get that going. These guys still need to be removed, so we need a total of 10 army experience to get that done. We're going to be changing our tank template, of course. That's not going to be a medium tank template forever. Why did that come through as medium tank template instead of armored division anyway? I don't know. Can we rename that here? Apparently not. There probably is a way to do it, but sure. It doesn't really matter all that much. It just got deployed with a unstandard name, but that's okay. So with that being said, that's all absolutely fine. We can definitely come in and add a Chief of Air Force. So do we want close air support or all-weather expert? Honestly, I want that air experience, so we're going to start getting that brought up. For military high command, this will be okay. We could go with, actually, army logistics is probably ideal here, but we're going to need additional political power to get that done. There's a bunch of upgrades finishing up, so the basic heavy tank chassis is completed. We can certainly start thinking about an improved artillery upgrade that is a bit ahead of time. So I think for the moment, yeah, that's quite ahead of time. we can start working on, say... Well, we're going to need the logistics company eventually. Let's get that going. That'll be fine. For our next upgrade, I would like to get something along the lines of... Ooh, this is a bonus up here, so this is double speed. This is also double speed. And I think for right now, I want to put that in here. So we're going to get that going. That's where we're going to spend that bonus. I think it'll be a little bit more useful to us there. We want both, ultimately. But for now, I think that'll be the best place to put it. It probably won't be, but it'll be fine for now. So we're currently producing about 1 medium tank per day. Okay. We still have a pretty big dearth of medium tanks. No doubt about that. But for the time being, that's reasonably okay. So we are producing these crappy submarines and cruisers as well. And we have a doctrine effort. Sure. That finishes up. So that's absolutely fine. Next up, I'm going to grab equipment effort 2. And that will also be absolutely great. So we're cruising our way through this research reasonably quickly here, right? No doubt about that. We're making solid progress here. I mean, 6 research lines is pretty decent, all things considered. I'm okay with 6. And we're at plus 17% research speed right now as well. So all of this is proceeding very nicely. Now, we are at 32 army experience, so I would like to remove these units of artillery. Apparently that closed. Okay. Remove these units of artillery. There we go. We'll save that, and that seems good. So, at this point, we have a unit ready for deployment, apparently. That should auto-deploy, right? Yes. There we go. So, this is an infantry division, and we're going to put that here. Cool. So, something along the lines of that. Now we can start working on our tank division. The main problem with our tank division right now is that it is going to be... It's going to be very much a situation where we need this to be heavy tanks later on, right? So this is going to be a temporary tank division here, unfortunately. But we can definitely start to work on this, so let's hop into our armored division, and we want to start putting in some support companies. First off, we definitely want an engineer company. Lots of breakthrough there. That looks good. Next up, we also are going to want to put in a support artillery. So that also seems fine. That's all of our experience for now, and that's all we can do for the moment. So this is just going to be a, like, low-tech armored division, and then we'll have a high-tech armored division that we switch to later on. So that'll be the idea, and we can just slowly work through developing this armored division as our army experience creeps upward. We are gaining a decent amount at this point. Now that we have the army leader, I forget what he's called, but Lev Ivanov here, he's giving us a lot of army experience. So now we can get ourselves another one here. And the question is, well, what one do we want? Well, the answer is we want... Well, we're going to want an armored recon company, I think. Hang on. I'm not 100% certain what this icon is. Can I zoom in? The answer is no. Okay. Well, that's perfect. Sure. I believe that's an armored recon company. I'm going to have to look at this on a larger screen, though, unfortunately. So I will be right back in just a moment. Okay, I got it figured out. The one that I didn't know the icon for was flame tanks, which is apparently extremely good, and I've never used before. So we were already researching Engineer Company 2, which is convenient, because that's what we need for the flame tank company. Okay, we're going to need the motorized recon company, so we can just put that in for now. And flame tanks and then logistics would be what we would have over here. So we'll save that for the moment, and that is absolutely wonderful. I'm not good at this game. I want to point that out. I'm very not good at this game. So that's fine. Engineer Company 2 has now finished. So I would like to get to work on something like Recon Company 2, potentially. Does this help motorized recon as well? Presumably. Let's put that in. That seems okay. And I would definitely like to get a flamethrower tank going. Now, I've looked up how you do that. And apparently, because we can't just go in with that research, we can't just go in here and add in flamethrower tank, right? we need an actual flamethrower tank design. So, in order to do that, I don't think it really matters too much what type of tank it is, but I want to do it off of a medium tank, I think. So we want this to be like a basic medium tank chassis, and we would create a variant here. So this is going to have like a light, as light as we can. We want this to just exist as support company fodder, right? So we want this to be like a radio and maybe like a small cannon. I don't know. Design is currently too expensive. We need the army experience, but we can run this forward for a bit. So that would be okay. We could do like machine guns to give us better defense and soft attack, but really what we're interested in here, I think, is the, let's see, the soft attack is what the flamethrower gives us. So that would be okay. We could get additional breakthrough and armor from the armor skirts, and then put in from there additional machine guns for the soft attack. Something along the lines of this. So then for our suspension, we may want to do something like a torsion bar. I don't know exactly. Welded armor would probably be ideal here. So we'll do that for now. And then we can do a petrol electric engine would be probably ideal. Our reliability is pretty low though, so that is definitely noted. We may want to consider running a diesel engine for the reliability. And then bumping this guy up, yeah, that's a lot of levels. We don't really need this to be that high, I don't think. So for the time being, we can keep our flame tank pretty small. Like, we can keep our flame tank around here, and then we can upgrade it later. So this is going to cost us 27 to make in its current state. I think that what we should do here is we should remove some of this special equipment. Specifically, we should remove that turret. We can put in a special module here for additional machine guns. That's going to cost us 27 at this point. Okay, I want to make this even cheaper. Riveted armor for the time being. Let's just make this like maximally cheap. So this is now 13. We could remove some of these equipment pieces up here, but I think for the moment we'll leave this. This is apparently the T-32 medium tank. Sure. So we're going to need a fair amount of army experience to get that done. That's fine. We'll have that fairly soon. We have 5. There's our equipment effort 2 finishing. I don't want to actually get that going just yet. I want to get the army experience that we need right now. So 7.8. Okay, logistics company 1 finishes. That seems good. This just went up to 14. Now it's back down to 13. Okay. Interesting. But we're currently at 8 army experience. Make that 9. 10. We just need to get to 13. So we're just making this fairly cheap, and we'll reassess the flamethrower tank once we have our higher level tanks, right? So we'll come back to our flamethrower tank. Okay, we'll save that. And that is, I'm not going to actually call this the T-32. I want to, hang on. I want to change that name. So I want to, can we just rename it? Yes, we can. I'm going to call this our flamethrower tank. Okay, we'll rename that. And I want to have at least 1 factory producing our flamethrower tank. At least 1. So I'm going to pull this down to 6 and then bring it back up to 15 and put 15 here. Although I don't think we really need that many. Let's leave this at 5 for the moment. Okay, so we're going to produce some flamethrower tanks here. And we have a research slot available. I would like to grab probably logistics company 2. So we'll get that going. We have outdated equipment in production, the IW medium tank. So the game thinks that these fill the same role. They don't. This is a flamethrower tank. This is not a flamethrower tank. So we're going to ignore that. We do need a new national focus. We can grab, I guess, mechanization effort. That's reasonably fine. And from there, we do have access to put in a military high command. So I kind of want the army logistics expert. We'll do that for now. There's also this artillery specialist, which I guess is okay. And then we'll need more political power to get a little further there. Looks good. Okay, so we're going to need to continue to work on our divisions. Those are not done yet. We'll come back to that, though. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll continue to work on getting our army all set up. We need more army experience, and we'll get there. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.